What's good, my link, and me? Welcome back to another lovely, beautiful, sexy, amazing video of the equally lovely, equally beautiful, equally sexy, and equally amazing LiTTyENT. I already know what time it is. Now let's go. Now guys, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the latest track from Headie One and Stormzy and breaking down the track's lyrics in more detail because I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of cap in some of these lyrics. And of course, we're going to break it down in way more detail. We already know what you got to do. You just got to like, comment, subscribe, subscribe to the drop a banger like this one and hit that note because you're in the knees. You can be the first to know when one of these videos comes out. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now, if you didn't already know, last week Friday, Headie One dropped his new single called Cry No More featuring Stormzy. And you know, the video seemed to be quite well done. It was quite creative, showing the everyday struggles of people, I guess, in London. The song itself, I mean, it was alright, I guess. I wouldn't call it a hit song necessarily, not by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm hoping that this isn't the strongest song from the album, because if it is, Headie One, we are in a lot of trouble, young man. And at the time of me recording this, it's been 7 days and this song has just cracked 1 million views on YouTube. So yeah, 1 million views is good, but for artists of Headie One and especially of Stormzy's caliber, 1 million views in 7 days is pretty poor, I'm not gonna lie. But nevertheless, I listened to the song multiple times to really take it in, pause, and as I listened to the song, all seemed to be going fine until Stormzy started rapping. And don't get me wrong, I messed with Stormzy, but there was an egregious amount of cap in his verse. And just for the good of UK rap, I have to highlight the cap coming out of Stormzy's mouth. Stormzy says, and I quote, "You sing that Ashake song with your chest, but you niggas ain't been here. Lonely, 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 lonely. At the top it's me. It gets lonely sometimes. Then I look down with a sigh of relief." Stormzy, I'm so sorry. I don't know what type of rice pudding you've been smoking lately, but you are not at the top. And you're not at the top for a multitude of different reasons. First and foremost, you ducked Chip. The streets will not forget that Chip was laying diss tracks at your head top. He was posted at the petrol station like a car wash and you were nowhere to be found, Storm. You were on airplane mode to ignore them. I don't know, any king who gets challenged to a duel and doesn't show up to face the duel. You still haven't even responded or even acknowledged the disses that came from Chip. You haven't even mentioned the disses from Chip in an interview or anything like that. You've basically given Chip the silent treatment. I'm sorry, but you can't be saying that you're at the top of the rap scene and then when someone calls you out who's a formidable opponent in your rap scene, you ignore them. I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. That's not only a sign of cowardice, but it's an automatic disqualification from being number one.
Yeah, that's true. Now let's go back to my nigger on the floor.
Secondly, your last album was complete and utter dumpster juice. I'm so sorry, Stormzy. I'm really sorry.
I'm sorry.
But if that's your last body of work and you're using that to claim the top spot, you should be completely ashamed of yourself. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That album is just not good. It's just not good, Storms. But then let's say that in some multiverse, you know, those two reasons aren't even valid. Then what evidence do we really have of you being at the top, Stormzy? Where is it? If we look at numbers wise, number ones, you're not at the top anymore. You're actually tied with Dave right now, with you both having 3 number ones, with yours being Own It, Vossi Bop, and Take Me Back to London, and Dave's being Funky Friday, Starlight, and Sprinter. And yes, I'm sorry, you being featured on the song for Grenfell, I'm not counting that. That don't count as a number one. Respectfully, of course. In terms of number one albums, I will give you your props there, Stormzy. You do, of course, have 3 number one albums. But again, because that last album was so abysmal, I can't even classify that as a proper body of work in your discography. That should be a tax write-off from Stormzy's discography, I can't lie. But even if we look at things like in monthly Spotify listeners, you're not at the top. Dave has almost double your monthly listeners, and Central C has almost triple your monthly listeners. In album first week sales, Dave has the highest first week sales so far with 74,000 with We're All Alone in This Together. Stormzy has, I believe it was 69,000 with his first album, Gang Signs and Prayer. So you're not top there. If we look at the highest streamed rap song on Spotify, it now is Sprinter and then it's Doja, and then it's Barking by Rams. You're not even in the top 3. Rams has a higher stream song than you with his breakout hit. So Stormzy, where's this top that you speak of? Pause, because I don't see it. You haven't had a top 5 or even a top 10 in the UK charts in 2 years. The last single you dropped with Fredo missed the top 10. The next one that you dropped with Ray missed the top 20, even though I must say that is a very good song. So, and they're saying that this song that you've made with Headie One is not going to hit the top 20 as well. It's looking like it's going to miss out on the top 20. So when we really assess this, Stormzy, where is this number 1 that you speak of? Because to me, it seems like the top spot for you, it's fairly non-existent. It's like hunting for a unicorn looking through all these stats. I'm not finding it. Probably the only thing that you're top at is you're the tallest rapper in the UK. I think that's the only thing that you've got over everyone else. You're the tallest rapper, and maybe when it comes to festivals and shows, then your pay is probably a lot higher than other rappers' pay. But even now, I probably think Central C could probably command actually, maybe not Central C, but at least the Dave could command a similar amount to you now, Stormzy. Like, let's be real. I don't think you're towering over them like you were back in the day. Pause. No Diddy. And again, I want to make it abundantly clear. I'm not saying any of this to hate on Stormzy or to try and bash him or make him look bad or feel bad or anything like that. I am a fan of Stormzy, but for far too long, I've been hearing this guy claim that he's the best, claim that he's number 1. But when Chip was ready to go at his neck and he knew he wasn't ready for it, he didn't even have the decency to do a J. Cole and gracefully bow out, to gracefully make it clear that Chip was making it hard for him to sleep. He just thought if he ignored the problem, it would go away. And of course, for the casual fans that go to Glastonbury and places like that, yeah, they're not going to care if Stormzy ducks Chip. They wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But for real UK rap fans like myself, we cannot and we will not allow a crown to be placed on the head of someone who wasn't willing to defend his kingdom. When his kingdom was being attacked, he went to go hide with the court jesters. It's not looking good, bruv. And of course, Stormzy continues with his outrageous claims by saying, my last album's cold, but my new one's fire. I might call it Maya. And I mean, as I've said before, that last album was complete garbage. If he's saying it's cold, he must mean it's frozen. It's the frozen food that your mum puts in the freezer before it's about to go off. Them ones there.
I mean, like, 100,000 for the cheapest ring on the nigga finger, little bitch.
So I don't know who in 0207 Def Jam is gassing you lot up and making you think that these shits are hitting, because they aren't.
I'm just saying.
And Stormzy even says, I got back pain and I got neck pain because I got the weight of the game on my shoulder.
Cap.
I don't know, Stormzy. Maybe all that back pain is from all that jumping and kick-ups that you be doing on stage. Because I can't lie to you ain't got the weight of no game on your shoulder right. That song took a week to crack 1 million views. Central C is cracking 1 million views in half a day. Let's be real, like, there's levels to this now, and you haven't been able to show and prove that you can keep up as of yet. But yeah, in terms of the actual main artist in the video, Headie One, as I said, I think the song is decent. I wouldn't have personally picked this as the lead single for the album, but I guess his team thought, you know, because it's a song with Stormzy on it, it will probably be the one that does the best. So fair enough, I would have probably gone through that same mindset as well. Well, depending on what other features are on the album, we'll have to wait and see if that was the right option. But yeah, quite a few of you were asking me what we should expect from Headie One on this next album. And honestly, I'm not entirely sure. You know, this would be Headie One's 9th project. And I think since Edna, there's not really been much happening for him to give us anything to sink our teeth into. You know, he's not really had any beefs with anyone, no relationships, no children, no big huge hits on the charts apart from, you know, Martin's Sofa. So I'm not even really sure what this project would be about, or what he would even want to talk about on here. All I will say is that I think this project should be a project that takes us back to square one. I think there should be a slight bit of experimentation in terms of the flow that Headie's been using, because I mean like we're like 9 projects in now, so I need to hear something different than the, you know, like, you know, that flow that Headie One always uses. Like, we need to hear something different, like branch out a little bit. But again, I will highlight that I do not want to hear experimentation that goes so far off the rails that it ends up like that trash collab album that he did with Fred again. Because yeah, Fred never again, I think, is the appropriate name for him now. But yeah, overall, I think this song it's all right. It's decent. It's not really something that I'd play in my own time, to be fair. Everyone's saying that this might be the UK verse of the year from Stormzy. I think you lot need to allow it. It's not that deep. It's a good verse. Don't get me wrong. Come on, man. Is that all it takes? One sample from a Sharky and you lot start moving mad? Like, come on now. But yeah, in the words of Headie One,
it's a bit of a sticky one still.
But let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. What do you think about the new song from Stormzy and Headie One? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's not? Do you agree with what I said about Stormzy not being at the top? You let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on the road to 2,000 subs. You already know what time it is. For my personal IG at theonlylitt. If you care about what I do, I'm not making these bangers for you. I post updates on Twitter as well, so you might as well follow me on there. What else do you do in my life? Absolutely nothing, mate. I bet. Peace.
Oh, you ain't know I could sing.